Okay, well, I just wanted to say, I'll start off by saying thank you so much for joining me and giving me your time today. I'm super excited to talk with you, and I've seen the first two episodes, and as a Percy Jackson fan, thank you so much, is the first thing I have to say. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Thank
Right.
you. Thank you. It means a lot. Thank you.
All right, so I'll just dive right in. The first question is directed toward all of you, so anybody can just jump in. What made you want to be a part of this amazing project, and how did you get involved?
Well, I'll start that. So these guys obviously had the idea. It's their thing. They sent me the script, and I remember very clearly reading the script on page 1, and it said, like on the strap above the first bit of dialogue, it said Percy Jackson brackets 12, and I thought these guys know exactly what they're doing, and this I'm definitely in because I love
Yes.
the fact the book I know incredibly well from my kids. They grew up reading it. I read it to them out loud. And so the book I loved, and so I was really keen that we be true to the book, and that this is what the show has been: is being true to Rick's work because it's such a fantastic book. And so when I read he's 12, I thought, okay, this is great. I'm in. What do I sign?
We're very glad you said yes.
Yes.
But that was it, really. And it was a brilliant thing that it really is the thing where the book is so fantastic, and the show I hope reflects that.
And for us, because we were fans of the book through our kids. Who we had read it with, and really for me personally, my daughter fell in love with reading because of the Percy Jackson series, which was really special. But John and I actually inquired about it a year before we even started on it. We were when kind of the merger happened between Disney and Fox, and we were based there. We sort of said, what's happening with Percy Jackson? And we didn't get much info. And then about a year later, we got the phone call saying Rick Riordan is interested in another adaptation. And we met him and met his wife Becky, and it was right at the beginning of COVID. And in that moment, we just kind of really connected. And because we were in that kind of COVID bubble on Zoom every day, we just got to dig in with them and just hear where all of this came from, and just the full inside scoop about this entire universe that he had built. And I think that time was so valuable to take the time to develop it really carefully, not feel rushed in it, just really understand why this has resonated for us, for him, for the world.
That's absolutely amazing. And I'm glad that you guys took the time to make it, as perfect as possible. In that vein, I do have a question. So you guys, we're all fans of the books. Your family is fans of the books. How do you toe the line between being very faithful to the original source material and also kind of updating it to give not only people that aren't familiar with the books a new reason to get into it, but also give us something new to look forward to?
I think you have to identify and embrace the difference between literalism and fidelity. I think to try to literally port the contents of a book into a script to shoot on screen, I don't believe you'll do a particularly good product. I think it feels like something masquerading as something else.
Right.
I think in order to sort of extrude the soul of the book, and kind of figure out what's really important in there, and then use that as the seeds of planting something new and letting it grow in the way it wants to, is a little bit more the right image, I think, that we all try to have in our heads. So, what you end up with, if you're doing it right, is a lot of things that look like they're literally translated. Percy's going to fight a Minotaur in ways that you hope he will. He's going to Las Vegas, and he's going to the Arch, and all of those pieces are still there. Just some of their musculature is connected in different ways, and there are some things that are connected that weren't quite as literally connected in the book. I think at the end of the day, if it makes you feel like the book made you feel, that's the measure of fidelity, I think, that we were aiming for. And hopefully for fans of the book, if you're coming to this with a hope to be made to feel that way again, you will, just in a new way.
No, it's been absolutely wonderful seeing it all come to life and seeing Camp Half-Blood and all the locations that they're going to go to. And along that vein, what is it like working on The Volume? That, that huge, massive sound studio that's relatively new. Can you talk about your experience working in that space?
Of course. I love it. I mean, I think for me, for having done lots of work on blue screen and green screen in the past, for actors, it's a different thing entirely because it's quite tiring working on blue all day. And no matter how many times you tell people where they are, nothing beats seeing where you are as a human in which to perform. It just makes sense. So being outside on The Volume, outside, on Fifth Avenue, in New York, outside the Met, or being inside the Met. When you're inside the Met, in that scene where he's looking up at the Percy statue, when we're shooting that, at the end of the day, I really did feel as though I'd been in the museum all day. It was just an extraordinary thing to feel because I know I'm on The Volume, I know I'm in Vancouver, but it felt like I'd been in a museum all day. It's really an incredible thing, and it definitely helped performance for me. I think you do feel like you're there, and in a way which I've never experienced before. So that is, I think, an incredible thing and very useful and very flexible. But there's also, I wanted this to feel authentic and real because we're in real places. So whenever we could, we always got outside as well. So Camp Harper, we built it in an actual wood outside of Vancouver. So, and that's a lovely place to build. So I love the idea that Camp Harper can always been there and the woods are amongst these old buildings and the different styles and that sort of thing. But that's something just it's so brilliant. And it gives a good sense of scale too, which is pretty nice.
We're also working with kids with limited hours.
Yeah.
To be able to have that control, or do a Minotaur fight that's in the middle of the night and in the rain. You can't shoot that with a 13-year-old. You can't go outside and be out all night with that kid. So just it gave us so much control to do it the right way and to even make it possible in some instances. So it also allowed us to just explore worlds in such a cool way. What James is saying. Most of the places that we did, we went and scanned the real places. So what you're looking at are the real places, just some of them happen to be on. And so that just adds to the authenticity.
Right. That's awesome. I'm just so in awe. So you brought up your previous experience. So you guys have all together, you've been a team for a long time. You've worked on Black Sails, Jericho, Human Target. Jericho and Human Target were two of my absolute favorite shows growing up. My dad still wants a Rottweiler named Carmine to this day because of Human Target. How do you feel your experience in those shows has translated to Percy Jackson? It's a very different feel. This one is a lot more family oriented. How did you go about changing your mindset to work on this type of a program?
It's actually the opposite. I think I had to change my mindset to do all the other ones. I grew up on that stuff. I grew up on in an Amblin universe. Sort of what I was exposed to and what I fell in love with and why I do this. And I think this in a weird way felt like a homecoming more than something new in terms of being able to be given both the material and the resources and the support and the freedom to tell a story that lives in an Amblin universe. I think is pretty cool. So this was this felt good. It was really fun.
I'm gonna even speak more for him because we worked together so long, and he's the best writer I know. But with the writing, we have written for adults mostly, in the kind of shows that we've done. And what was amazing to watch how that translated here was we didn't change that. Like you still wrote for a mature person, meaning there are things that make them a kid and make them, fun and different in that way. But also at the same time, kids are dealing with really intense emotional conflict. And dealing with real issues, and so Jon and Rick and we're never writing down to the kids. The kids could handle really mature stories, and we allow that to happen. And I think that's what hopefully makes this so universal that anyone can watch this. It's not just meant for 12-year-olds. It's meant for anybody who's going through something, who's having this kind of experience or any kind of experience. And that's why I think people have related to these books for as long as
a testament to the kids. That's, you can write that for them all you want, but they have to be able to then give the performance, and they did. And I think you know, when people ask what was it like to write for these kids and make the show with them, my gut reaction is it was very easy to forget. You know, aside from 6 hours in when they have to go to school, it's very easy to forget. Like there are scenes that I caught myself in the middle of writing feeling like this is the scene you write for Jeff Bridges. This is the scene you write for somebody who has done this and can sit in front of a camera and do 2 minutes of a monologue, and write it for a 13-year-old kid. And Walker did it, and so did Ariana, and so did Leah. And so I think without those resources, the ambition of doing that could have been really really dangerous. And it turned out to be really.
In episode 2, that 3-page monologue that Walker gives to his mother over the burning candy. That is a scene you, like, most actors could not handle. As a kid, I mean, on that night, we were just like, it was very overwhelming. Like, it was emotionally overwhelming to watch him perform that over and over again. And just trying new things, finding new avenues into it. James would just drop a little bit of a nugget or a little seed just into it. And you would just see him shift. I mean, it was pretty remarkable.
It felt like a thing you could play in one shot, that scene. You just hold him and the candle side by side, and you can just watch that. It's just so good. And when you have that, you think we're in good shape here, because he's so good at that.
Yes, it was heavy and powerful and beautiful, and I think the casting that you guys did was absolutely fantastic. I can already see the core 3 embodying these characters. They are them, and just a wonderful job on that.
Right, thank you.
So I think I need to wrap up here. So I have one more question. I have heard that the writer's room for season 2 has started. Is there anything you can tease, any tidbits that you can give a Sea of Monsters fan? Just anything.
You got to see the whole first season first.
I know. Okay, but I am the kind of person, I do read the last page of a book first.
Okay, no, I appreciate. Not the first page of the next one. We will just say that the goal has always been to make many more of these. So
Yes.
our hope is in the success of this that we get to do that, and it would be a big giant challenge, but an awesome one.
We seem to enjoy those.
Well, I'm glad, because it seems like from what I've seen, you guys have a long road ahead of you, but a very, very good one. And once again, thank you so much for your time. Thank you for making a wonderful program that is going to resonate with young and old. And I just can't be happy enough. So have a good day, guys.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you.
Cheers.
Bye.